So look at here, disk management. So another in a Linux admin is a disk management. So we'll see what is this disk management, why especially in a Linux. Windows is simple, we can able to create a disk kind of stuff. But in Linux, you have to understand terminology and the process. Look at here, guys. Here, all our devices stores under /dev. All device information stores under /dev. And our disk name is, for example, SDA. Okay, this is the disk name. So SDA represent it is a disk. It is a disk. D represent disk. A represent first one. A represent it is a first one. If I have a multiple disk, I have another hard disk is there. The name of this hard disk is /dev/sdb. Okay. If you have a multiple disk, you have a B, C, D like that. Okay. So A, B, C, D is first disk, second disk, third disk kind of stuff. A, B, C, D. It is like the first, second, third, fourth, like this. First disk, second disk, third disk, fourth disk. That is so. Here in between SDA, SDB. So in SDA, okay, the D represents the disk. D represents disk. Next, SDA, HDA, VDA, like this. Different naming is there. Okay, SDA means it's a SCSI disk. Disk is SCSI type of disk. HDA means it is a hard disk. VDA means it's a virtual disk, virtual hard disk. Okay, so in case in your system you have a server, the server is SCSI type of disk you are using. In a server you are using SCSI disk. So then name comes under SDA, SDB, SDC like that. Okay. If you are using a normal desktop, you take a normal desktop, means normal system. Hard disk is IDE type of hard disk, like IDE, PATA or SATA type of hard disk. It is HDA. VDA. For example, you have a Linux system. Inside a Linux system, you are creating a virtual machine. Inside a Linux machine, you are creating a virtual machine, and your machine will understand that is a hard disk is virtual hard disk for it. So then it is showing VDA. Okay, these are the namings. Next, unlike our Windows, we have a C drive, D drives, E drives in the Windows operating system. In Linux, drives are not like that. Every drive name is like this: /dev/SDA1. Okay, or like you can say SDA2, SDA3, SDA4. Same goes for another days. Okay, SDB1, SDB2, SDC, SDB3, SDB4. Why it is happen? Guys, look at here. Okay, so point is, if in case, if disk is MBR type of disk, if disk is MBR type of disk, so obviously MBR type of disk having a 3 primary, 1 extended. In extended, you can create a logical drives. So this is the first primary completed, second primary, third primary. So 3 primaries are completed, and the fourth one is a extended. So extended name is SDA4. Okay, so it is like you can take anything. So darker or a green, blue, just for understanding purpose only. Otherwise, you can take this one. This is entirely SDA4. Okay, again inside, if you create a partitions, again that's a different, like you say, there's a logical drives are creating. Okay, so these are the logical drives. This is extended. Again, inside the names are SDB5. The names are very bigger. This is okay. Okay, SDB5, SDB6. Like that. Okay, but I didn't put a like this here, so I thought it is a GPT type of disk. Again, if you are using a disk type is GPT type, it means 128 direct primary partitions you can able to create it. So primary, 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 primary. If you create another one, that is also primary. Okay, guys, understand naming? First disk SDA, SDB, SDC.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Got it? So now we'll go to the a simple understanding is by default how disks are mounted to slash boot. Okay, so it is mounted to slash boot slash, okay, and slash home, maybe swap. We mounted to slash var, okay, slash boot EFI. So that is also there, no? Slash boot EFI kind of stuff is also there. Like that, there are mounted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this tail. Here it is. So what we are going to do, so already existing partitions are there. So we have some free space. This is the certain free space is there, unallocated space. Some unallocated space is there. So what we are doing in unallocated, we are going to create a partition. We are going to create a partition. So it may get a certain name. For example, it is a SDA, maybe a 6, maybe a 7, okay, maybe 7, anything 6 or 7. It can be by what it is, depends upon the next name. Okay, for example, SDA6. Name of this partition is SDA6. So you have to write down like this: slash dev slash SDA6. Okay, name of the partition. Next, you want to put a data in it. So in Linux, we don't have C drive, D drive. You have to mount. You have to mount these things to a folder. These things to a empty folder. So I'm going to mount to a folder. For example, data 6. That is my folder. Under slash is a better. Okay, I'm mounting under slash data 6 folder. Okay, understand guys? I created a partition. First, you have to create a partition. You have to mount a partition to a empty folder by using a command called. So this is a second step. Not the second step. Middle, some steps are there. Guys, I want to ask, when you creating a partition means you create some space. For example, 2 GB space. We created 2 GB drive. We created a partition. You want to put a data in it. So you want to put a data in the partition. The partition should be formatted. What is the Linux format? File system. What is Linux file systems? ext4. Greatest one is ext4. ext3 older. ext2 much older. Or xfs, extended file system type, you can use it. ext4 and our current ntfs having same future kind of stuff. Okay, so supporting wise and all kind of stuff, it is a little different. Okay, so this is format in a Linux file system is that one. So you have to format it. First create a partition, next format it, and then one. Of course, again in the middle there is some more point is also there. So that's why to keep it little bit like this. Okay, you created a partition. The partition is belongs to, right? The partition should be understood by kernel. So update to kernel. Command is there. That's a simple command only. Okay, guys, these are the steps. I'm trying to explain what it is. First of all, check the partitions, create a new partition, and update the partition information into the kernel. Format the partition with the file system and mount it to directory. Then you can keep the data and other things we can able to discuss. Okay, so it is not like a C drive, D drive kind of stuff, right? We have to do it. We use a command called fdisk. Fdisk is one of the command to manage the disk management. There is a lot of things also available, right? So -L for a list to list this and their partition information, will get it. -L fdisk -L /dev/sda. Okay, list partition information of /dev/sda. Okay, so first two commands we'll try these two commands. Okay, this is a disk management command. We'll see that. I have a root, right? So this is the root command, right? So we will go to the root part. Okay. What I command? What fdisk -L. It is showing I have only one disk only, so that's why it is showing like I have some 200 GB hard disk /dev/SDA, and there is a 5 partitions. 5 partitions. First partition 1 GB, second partition 1 GB, okay, third partition 40, fourth partition 40, fifth partition is 4 GB. Okay, so fourth one is given to Linux swap. Okay, df space -h. Another command is df space -h. It will give what are the partitions and where it is mounted. You can see /dev/sda is mounted to /boot/ef5, /dev/sda2 mounted to /boot, sda3 /sda4 home, okay, and sda5 is swap. The swap kind of stuff not showing here, no problem. Okay, so df space -h. H represent human readable format. Okay, so display mount information. The H represent human readable. Okay, sizes in the megabytes, gigabytes, size wise it will shows. Okay, next we start. Thing is, guys, first of all, we'll create a partition. Command is again fdisk /dev/sda. Okay, I'm creating a partition under SDA. When you go to this command, it is asked press M for menu, means options menu. Okay, N for new partition. Okay, N for new partition, P for partition table. So I am typing. Guys, you have to do first thing like this. I will give you options directly. 2 times I will tell, guys, no problem, so don't worry. But first time try to understand. Okay, if you don't get it, second time I will tell. SDA. It is press M for help. Then press M, you will get a options. So these are the options you are getting. Okay, help menu. D for delete the partition. G for to create a new GPT type of partitions table. Capital G, which is we are not required, so I'm removing it because a lot of data is creating. Important or a optional point only I will tell. So D is important, G is a very optional. So list known partition types. List known partition types. It is like for partition types only. M for print this menu. N for creating new partition. So O to create a empty DOS partition table not required for our practical. Just for our practical. P print the partition table. Quit without changing your partitioning modification. Yes, new empty sun disk label. That is also, it is not much required. LNT are changing for changing partition system ID. That is I will explain. V is important. This is we are not experts now, so then we'll see remaining. Okay, so these are the W for a save and exit type. So first of all, you have to choose N for creating a no, not N. First of all, you have to choose P. Again, you have this /dev/sda M for a printing menu. First option is P for a print table printing. Next is V for verifying partition table. Like if it is showing some number, meaning is there is a empty space. There is a empty space. If it is not showing big number, it is showing very small number. We can see. So it will show, display the number in a bytes. No. In sector wise. Okay. It shows some thing in a sector wise, like 1010, like this. Some number it will shows. Okay. Like this. Something okay, sectors, meaning is you have to into 512, then you'll get a size of the disk. Okay, size of the disk space. Okay, or a unallocated space. If it is there, then press N for a creating new partition, and you have to do just enter only. Use your enter button. Okay, for a selecting first part thing. Okay, so then give plus 2z for creating 2 GB partition. I am creating 2 GB partition. Okay, remaining is I will show you and explain, because this is what is the first thing I have to do. P. So this is my partition. 5 partitions are already created. Next is V. Okay, so this is the free sectors are available in the 2 segments. Okay, so you can okay, so you have to multiply with the 512 bytes, so then you will get a total number of bytes. But I am not doing anything. It is a very big number. I know it is a thing, and it is a label is GPT. My disk is GPT type of disk. Okay, one each sector is like a 512 bytes. Okay, so mine is GPT disk. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 completed. N for new. So default partition number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to 5 is completed. Now next one is 6 automatically. Default is 6. So no need to do anything. Enter. Select a first sector. No need to do. Automatically based on the last sector of last partition, it will be generated. No need to do. Enter. No need to do anything. Enter. So 2 times enter. Okay. So here it is partition number time. Here also enter. But read what is your partition. Write down in somewhere. Last sector. In the last sector, I want to create a 2 GB. Okay. So I created a partition number 6 and a 2 GB partition. So when you give, here it is where you give last sector place, give plus 2 GB. Okay. We don't know the sector parts. Okay. So the first sector, no need to do anything, just enter only. Okay. Partition number, just enter only. Use the default one. Okay. So next, you have to use P to verify your partition is created. Partition number 6. Okay, and 2 GB partition is created, and the type of partition is Linux file system. Of course, we need a Linux file system only. Verify the partition size. Next, if you want to change type, you can use T to change the partition. So you have to tell the partition number. Okay, and then list types. You don't know how to type the list kind of stuff. I will show you that. L like this. Out of this, these are a different type of file systems. Means file kind of stuff, not a file system like a see Solaris. You want to install a Solaris, or you want to store Solaris related file thing. You want a Linux LVM, Linux RAID. You want a Linux root kind of stuff. Okay. See, different type of operating system support is also there. Okay. EFI type system is there. Out of all, what we require is Linux swap, Linux file system, okay, Linux LVM. These three are a very important file systems. Okay, system IDs. We need a system IDs for this one for our Linux administration purpose. These are all are not required, so it's also not required. So first two, then last. Control Z. No, you should not delete that 31. Okay, because that's the ID. Where is middle one? Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. All these things. So again, Control V. First remove these things only. What happening? Yeah, so remove this. Even we don't understand what it is also. Just we need a ID, that's it. We don't require more. Okay. Linux swap, Linux file system, like this. Now you want to change. Okay. First you have to put a T and a partition number, or just enter. Last one only, right? So either enter or choose partition number. Okay. Enter or choose and put L. Then you'll get a big list. After that, these are the things. Next, mine is normal file system. I choose 20. Okay, I choose 20. So I change Linux file system to Linux file system only, and P. Verify changed or not. Okay, you really want to change in like a 19. You want to change like a T 6 19. Now you can see it is become swap partition. Want to change it again? T 6 20. It is Linux file system. Like you have to change it. Already it is there, no problem. If it is not there, you have to change it. Okay, so then last one is B. So after taking certain partition, the size will be reduced. The size of this one will be reduced. But make sure that is something is available. I mean for a next part. Okay, the B, that's verification. Completed. Last one is W. Okay, last one is W. Now you're completed W for save and quit, but actually it is not updated. Okay, it is not updated, so you have to use the command port probe or a kpartx. And V finally W. Okay, so you are still using your old table. It is not updated in a kernel, so you have to update into the kernel by running this command port probe. Okay, so you can directly type port probe, or you can use port probe / SDA, or you can use SDA6. So it is you are updating partition table to the kernel. Okay, so up to here we created a partition. The partition creation is completed. We created a partition, and we update the thing into kernel. Next one is you have to define file system. You have to define file system. mkfs dot ext4 /dev sda6 because it's a 6 partition. Partition number is 6. Okay. So this is one of the command. Lot of mkfs commands are there. I'm giving very simple command mkfs dot ext4 okay /dev sda6. Now it is formatted. Now it is formatted. Next one is mkdir. I'm creating a directory for this one like this. A empty directory is created. If you see, literally nothing is there in the directory. Nothing is there. Even though you can go to hidden files, nothing is there in the directory. I'm going to mount /dev sda6 to /dev data6. I'm mounting. Now, if you look at what is the data in that one, see, last one found is showing, and also you can verify df space -h. Df space -h. You can see it is mounted. If you put a data in the /data6, okay, like I'm creating f6 1.5. I created a files under data6. 5 files are created, but originally those files are created under SDA6 only. SDA6 only. Okay, like that. So the data, how much we put a data here, but data is actually stores here. Okay, the mounting is just for is like a connection. Is it just a connection only? Okay, where it is, we came out. Then use the command is part_probe. I'm using, or you can use kpartx. You can use part_probe, or you can use part_probe /dev /sda. Also you can use. Next one is mkfs dot ext4. I know, guys, you are not understanding. No problem. I will tell again. I'm not okay. mkfs 6. So because it's a 6th one. Next, mkdir /data6. Okay, and then use mount /dev sda6 to data6 mounting. Okay, so ls data6. Here also -a or normal a also no problem to data6. And also you can check it -h. It's a mounted or not. Let's create some files. Touch data6. I put a f6 one data. Files will be created under data6, but originally it is showing under that one. Guys, umount means unmounting data6. So I unmounted, verify df space -h like this. See, the mount is gone. Okay, the mount is gone, unmounted. Okay, ls space /data6. The data in the directory is not showing. Why not showing? Because of data stores in the drive, not in the directory. Not in the directory. When you mount it again, when you mount, see, I mounted it again, and when I put a command, files are here. Files are here. So this is unmounting. Okay, so ls space -a slash data 6. Check it, files are there or not. Next, umount is a command for unmounting slash data 6, like it is automatically unmounted. Use df space -h for checking mounting information. Okay, so next one is again ls space slash data 6 verify. Again mount it slash dev slash sda 62 slash data 6. Check it whether it is mounted or not, and ls space slash data 6 data will be visible. So this is one part of disk management, one part only. There is several parts are there, but this is first part. So what I am trying to do is, how many people are not understand? Please tell me, so then we can do one more partition. Okay, in afternoon I will show you mounting tables and all that part I will tell again separately. But we need to understand how to create a partition, basic partition. Again we do. Tell me guys how to do it. To create a partition. Fast, because we don't have a time. Again it is 1:40. We have a maximum 5-10 minutes.
fdisk slash
fdisk
dev
SDA.
slash sda
Okay. First one.
p partition.
So I want to know partition table P. Very good. 126 created. Next.
v
Okay. Partition is some available. We don't know exactly how much, but it's available. Very good. Now I can able to create a new partition, right?
yes n
10. Very good. Number 7 by default. Enter. First sector. Enter.
enter.
Okay. How much partition you want to create it? Tell me. You tell me. I will do it.
3 GB.
How much?
4, sir.
4 GB. MBs also you can create it. No bother. Okay. 4. But generally don't try 4, 5 kind of stuff. Okay. So yeah, partition is created. Partition number is 7. Next. Verify. Verify the table.
Partition.
V for space. Yeah, some space is there. To change the system ID.
A.
Yeah, default is 7. List. But already we know. I already written a list of the things somewhere. Where I written? Yes, list. So I want to convert into 20. Right? So 20. And check the P. That's it. Save and exit.
B.
Save and exit. W. Next command. Partition created.
Part pro.
Very good. Part probe or a part probe. SDA is enough.
V slash
Part probe is completed. Next.
mkfs
Partition created. File system.
fs dot ext for
mkfs.ext4. I'm using ext4 file system. dev SDA 6 or 7.
7, sir.
Very good. 7. File system created. Now I want to use it. How to use it? Create a some directory. Directory name can be anything, guys. For my remembering purpose, my memory purpose, I'm using these directories under slash only, not in my one also. Okay. Created a directory. What is there inside a directory? Nothing. Okay. Next. I want to mount.
Mount.
Mount. So mount my drive to
SDA7.
okay. Can I press enter?
Yes, sir.
Mount. Okay. How to verify mounted or not? How to verify is it
Yes,
mounted
sir.
or not?
There -e.
Let's say
In the bottom, it is showing mounted. Okay. In the bottom, it is showing it's mounted. How to ls space -a slash data7. Why I'm using a means if any hidden files is there, it shows. Okay. Now currently no data. I'm creating some data in it. You can create in a different ways, like you can create a different directories also. No problem. This is only for just demo related kind of stuff, right? So I'm creating some data. So data is created. Okay. How to unmount it? We mounted it. How to unmount?
unmount.
Umount.
Umount
Umount. Okay.
under data 7.
Unmount command is umount. Okay. So be careful, because by accidentally, even myself, I type so many times unmount kind of stuff. Okay. So unmounted successfully or not by checking df space -h.
Minus -h.
Got it? Here unmounted. After unmounting, data is not there in this one. If you mount it again, if you mount it again, data is shows. Meaning is data stores in the drive, not in the folder in the mount condition. The mount condition. Guys, understand how to create a partition and how to create a file system in the partition, and how to link the how to mount to the folder. These are the steps. So what are the first step? Create a partition. Second, update in kernel, compulsory. Okay, update in the kernel. Third, file system. If you miss any step, you will get a problem. Okay, file system. Okay, so create a file system. For file system, what command I used? mkfs kind of stuff. Okay, so file system. Next one is mount. Mount. So these are the main 4 steps. Mounting means you have to create a directory and you have to mount it. So the so 3. Okay. Of course, the 5th step I'm not yet told you that one. Okay, that is 5th step is also there. Separate step. that is update in /etc/fs tab file system table. Fs tab is nothing but a file system table. Okay, so I will tell what is the use of that fs tab kind of stuff. Okay, and also blk id. Okay, block id. So what is the use of this block id kind of stuff? I will tell. Guys, in afternoon, one more time I will do it. That is called how to create a swap partition. Okay, how to manage swap kind of stuff also we'll see it. Guys, understand, right? Everybody? How to create a partition?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Sir.
See, if you tell, it is very simple, very fast, you can able to complete it. Okay, so take a lunch break and be back at 3 o'clock.